We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, rivals square off in the NFC East, and we've got a great matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a first-round pick in 2019 from Ohio State. It's Dwayne Haskins.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
After the sack on first down, Haskins. They'll give him 8 on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. 3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Haskins will throw, able to find his running back, Geis. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give the Redskins 13 there on a first down.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Ooh, the juke. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And down to the 19-yard line. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
Well, they put it all together on that one. Good vision, good blocking. A toss play to the left. How do you toss it?
Yeah, a toss is the underhand kind of egg toss. The pitch is kind of, if you're running the option, you pitch it end over end, correct?
Yeah, I agree totally. I agree totally. And in the NFL, we'll see a lot more tosses than pitches. Because if you're
and this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Evan Ingram with touchdown number 8 on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And man, Charles, talking about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. And a loose football. It's picked up by the Cowboys.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. and they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. It's picked up by the Cowboys. Room here to run. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. Fumbles, that's how you get in the coach's doghouse. The first one lost and it hurt. This time you lose it and it's taken in for a score. It really hurt.
And about that doghouse, it won't exactly be comfortable, and it definitely won't be air-conditioned.
Milk bones?
None.
Extra point up and through, and that makes the score 21-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And it's some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and which you also have to guard against it.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Well, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
23 yards on the play. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Matt Judon in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first. The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
Dak and the offense still out there. They are going to go for it.
Check pass. Mark 56.
Now Prescott on 4th down. And he comes back with one complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. Prescott looks to throw on 1st. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Gets this one to Hill, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tyreek Hill his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 20. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right? I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Now, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and it's third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off Byron Jones.
Good stuff. Keep doing that.
Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in
Season of
December.
giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Prescott now. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
Mike 56, Mike 56.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Brandon, their last miss on third down, they actually were able to alleviate it because they picked it up with a 4th down conversion. I don't know that they'd be wise to try and do that again here. To me, you got to punt the ball away.
And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big, this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. Here's Geis. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. A look at the numbers for Geis a week ago. 20 carries, 103 in the yardage department.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
Geis with a carry on second down. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Third down. Here's Haskins. He gets it in the hands of Geis. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Haskins now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Out of the gun, Geis. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it 2nd and 7. The Redskins with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it 2nd and 7. Play action. Haskins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
From the 17, Prescott in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Reuben Foster, the former national champion at Alabama, gets in for the sack.
Or maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. And he's got it. First catch of the game for Hopkins. It's a first down. That catch puts him 80 away from 1,000. He's now at 920, and 920, that ties him with Torrey Holt.
That's a great name to remember, but the number, 920, almost boggles the mind, doesn't it? You're talking about 80 catches away from 1,000.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A 2-yard touchdown grab as they are now on the board here in the first half.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
This is taken at the 3. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Dak and the Cowboys ready for their next possession. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you're talking about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-1 ratio here in the second quarter.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A first down carry by Elliott. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Now that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 2nd and 12, Prescott finds his tight end Ingram. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 35.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Prescott now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott, and he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Haskins. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that. Time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. He does have the 1 interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you throw 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than the ratio that all NFL coaches are seeking from their quarterbacks, and he's giving it to them.
They'll take the 3-1
every single time.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Come on. Kill. Mike's 50. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in our lane. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
That's what I'm talking about.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
There you go. 56 to Mike.
Prescott from the gun. He is going to find Hill here. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. The point after is good.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Haskins to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. On 3rd down, Haskins. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now Dak Prescott and the offense heading back onto the field. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. Throwing right, and that's complete. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you. Hey, kill. 47, 26.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jonathan Allen in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
56, the mic, boy. Echo. 56. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. 56 the mic. 56 is the mic. All right, T, let's turn. All right, T. Mike 56. 26.
To throw is Prescott. And going deep for Hill. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time. But now it's 3rd down.
Third down and 18.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Final play of the half. Prescott. And going deep for Hill. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
First down, Prescott. That one complete to Hill. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll throw again. Prescott drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Prescott on first down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Jonathan Allen, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 28. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott now 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down. Haskins on third down, and this is going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Taken in at the 11. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. Eluding the pressure right. This one caught by Isabella. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
56 to Mike. 56 to Mike.
They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott. Quick hitter here. It's complete. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And going deep for Hill. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Redskins on third down, putting an extra man here in the secondary.
56. Mike, 56, right there.
Prescott. And Ingram hauls it in. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Give them 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down.
It's got to the point when we see guys like that make that type of a catch, not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end, one-handed. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Montez Sweat has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Now Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Andy Isabella, his 6th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Back now in Arlington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Redskins on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw, Haskins. He finds some open field here. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. Evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now Haskins. He's got his tight end, Oliver. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Haskins looking to throw on 1st down. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington 1st down.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. Now a throw left sideline here is complete. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. It's complete to Hopkins. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's what you're looking for.
23 yards, the final tally. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And again, it's Prescott. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. From 4 yards out, as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team, because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Third down. Here's Haskins. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Strip that ball. Hey, Mike, 6. like 47.
Prescott from the gun. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise or throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Silver. Strong right. Here we go. Go to 54. 126.
Prescott now from the 50. That ball complete to Isabella. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Reuben Foster picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Throwing. Prescott into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That was a bad play on one hand.
Haskins hit, and he lost the football. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Now on second and 16. Haskins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Was trying to get it to Darius Geis out of the backfield. And it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On the draw, they go to Geis. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Tressway now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all three timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I'm going to hit you all day.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
A first down there on a pickup of 25. So from the 36 now, first and 10. Prescott now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. 3rd and long for Prescott. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. To throw is Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Well, Prescott here to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Cowboys, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA.